that. It's always the struggle of now me going back and seeing, because YouTube notifications don't always work. Oh, there's my pretty little face. Yep, there it is. Okay, welcome anybody watching out there. This is to celebrate. I know it's probably been a while since some of you have seen me not on the Sugoi Boys, because I have been not the most consistent YouTuber lately. But we'll try to change that soon enough. I've had a lot of stuff going on, and it's kind of kept me busy. All just excuses. Should be making more content for awesome people like you guys. And this is kind of just to say, like, thank you to a lot of people. And every time, I think this is like the third one of these I've done. I'm pretty sure I did one at 50. I know I did one at 100 subscribers, but I hit 200 subscribers on my channel like a week ago, I think. And knowing me, some people probably just like unsubbed, and now I'm at 199. But it blows my mind, and I'm so happy about that. Like, I'm sorry that the lighting down here is also so awful, and it makes me look even more pale than I realistically am, and I didn't think that was possible. But nonetheless, it's happening. But yeah, this is really to just sort of commemorate all the people that support me, whether on Patreon. By the way, there's a link down below in the description if you want to join that. That'll get you access to a Discord server, and you can ask me to do video topics and stuff like that. But you totally don't have to do that. If you this is also a big thank you to the people that just hit that subscribe button, just watch a video of mine, whatever. Tell me that my opinion is shit and I should kill myself. You all motivate me in different ways. And I want everybody to sort of know that. And so a couple of days ago, I asked a bunch of people or the people in my Discord, and some of my other friends from Overwatch and stuff like that, to sort of ask me some questions for a Q&A video, because like I said, I did one at 50 and 100 subs, I think. Definitely 100. But, and it doesn't have to be anime related. Some of this very much isn't anime related. And so, but we'll get into that. But I guess, welcome. We haven't really officially started yet. I'm going to pull up the questions from Discord on my phone. I didn't want to have Discord up in the background because the various servers that I'm in, you're going to hear like the stupid, I hate that like Discord notification sound. You're going to hear that a million times. So I'm just going to pull them up on my handy dandy phone here with the broken case, by the way. Smile. Someday we'll upgrade to a new phone and a new case. Let's check out the Discord. And I know some people couldn't make it tonight, and some people are probably going to be watching it in the future. I totally understand. First and foremost, I do want to genuinely say thank you to everybody that supports me. Once again, you guys are awesome people. I never, ever... I know everybody says this shit, but like I never would have thought that I've gotten to 200 subscribers. Especially on like the type of content that I create. Super budget YouTube. I'm more of like a vlogger at this point. And we'll discuss some like changes I'm thinking about making to the channel a little later on. But thank you so much to Nia, Lax, Warp, J-Chip, people who have donated to the Patreon. You guys are amazing people, and I can't believe like how nice you guys really are to donate your money to a guy like me. I never thought I would really be making any money out of this, and I'm certainly, not making a living, but I never really set that to be like my goal. And to have my like art respected enough for people to, help me out a little bit financially, man, it makes me so happy that I know each and every one of you guys. So thank you so much. You guys, honestly, with your suggestions and everything, and your comments and everything, you make being an anime YouTuber or YouTuber in general, because I talk about a lot of different stuff, I guess, that much better. Because you keep it fresh. You constantly give me time. Sometimes, I get kind of like burnt out of something, and you guys usually know something to recommend to me a manga or a show or whatever. So genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody that has supported me. If for some reason you're watching this like the first time ever, welcome to the channel. This is my 200 subscribers special. Believe it or not, somehow I have 200 subs. But let's go to some of these because some people typed up a storm. Warp bait, cough, cough. I told Nia-chan, who was my very first patron, that she would be first, but I don't see that she posted a question. If I'm wrong and I just haven't seen that, Nia, feel free to enter them in the comments because she's in Europe and she's definitely asleep right now. Hey J-Chip, what's up? Is this a private party? It is getting started. We are already started. You know, the party really started when you walked in. So there you go. All right, doors over there. All right, I see it. All right, so let's go up. So I told Nia she'd be first. She didn't. I don't think I have a question from her, but big shout out to Nia. She was the very first patron of mine, and a huge supporter of the channel. So awesome person. I guess technically, good for you to show up, J-Chip. Because the first question is from J-Chip from the J-Chip Show, otherwise known as J-Chip-chan. For those that are wondering, I'm looking up on my phone because I just noticed on the camera I'm just looking down at nothing. But what is my personal favorite Sugoi Boys episode? I try not to look at these over too much beforehand. But this one I kind of looked at and I think it was kind of hard. I would have to say the Garzy's Wing one is really cool just because Garzy's Wing is such like an iconic thing. And the fact that like we've all seen it, each member of the Sugoi Boys makes it like that much better. Like Garzy's Wing, for those that don't know, Garzy's Wing is like the worst anime that you have to watch. It has like the funniest fucking dub you'll ever see. And the plot of it is insane. Oh my god! But the Garzy's Wing episode is really good. I like a lot of the like when we would play, like sort of like the trivia games, and Light Lelouch would always win. The one where I talked about Clanad was really cool because I finally got to talk with Dredd about a show that's near and dear to his heart, and I thought that was really cool. But there's we've had so many good episodes, and Sugoi Boys is such an amazing thing. And honestly, really thank you to Dredd and J-Chip, two of my best friends on YouTube, and I really mean that. And I don't necessarily like a lot of the time. Like I'll be honest, I get so busy and wrapped up in life that like I might talk to them a little bit before Sugoi Boys, and then we talk on Sugoi Boys, And I got to be better about that. I'm not the most social person, but nonetheless, you guys still reach out to me and still talk to me and still are willing to do this weekly podcast with me, and it's awesome. I have a great time, and I'm really glad that I met both of you guys. Bob Samurai, another really good anime YouTuber, certainly an influence on me. I definitely would not be doing this if it wasn't for him. The episode that we had him on was also really good, and he got to talk to Harry Lolly. J-Chip's favorite episode is episode 6. You have to explain to me, okay, that's the infamous moment where we found out Light never drops an episode. He never drops an anime. Not just an episode. He never drops any anime. Which is fucking ridiculous. Light Lelouch, for those that don't know, is a frequent guest on my live podcast every Sunday night. Most Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, called the Sugoi Boys, by the way. You should check it out. We frequently have Light Lelouch on, who is an anime blogger, and he and good friend of the channel, I should say. He claims that he never drops anime. Now, I sort of call bullshit, but if you knew Light, like you kind of here's the thing, like I kind of like 10% of my brain says bullshit, the other 90% say, yeah, he's probably fucking telling the truth. And it doesn't matter how much he hates the show, he will continue to watch it. The last episode was also really good. Almost like pretty much every Sugoi Boys episode is very good, especially the ones with you, J-Chip-chan. They're a really fun time. How tall is your dad? Now, my dad has appeared on the channel, but never on camera. I've always just had him just with like audio feed. Um, I've kept him kind of just for like, not that he doesn't like respect what I do or anything, but I kind of just feel like I don't know if he really would want to be on the camera. I never actually outrightly asked him, but I don't think it would be the greatest idea to have him like on the same YouTube channel as Harry Lolly, like physically in person. If his voice is one thing. Ironically enough, he does tell his coworkers about my channel, and he listens like in his so his particular job, he has like days where like he's out like in the field at like certain like job locations, and then other times he's like in an office or like other buildings and stuff like that. So it kind of depends on the day. And he was telling me sometimes when it's slower, he will listen to Sugoi Boys episodes or just watch my videos, and that's how he discovered who Harry Lolly is. And I've told this story previously on Sugoi Boys, that when he was first bringing up my channel to someone, there is I think somebody that either works in the same building. I don't know if they're for the same company, but I think they're the same building. And he happened to be talking to some individual, keep in mind, who I've never spoken to, mentioned Miasma Senpai. And the guy goes, Harry Lolly? Yeah, so Harry Lolly is infamously more famous than myself. So there's that. But how tall is he? My dad is around my height. He's like 6'1". Although I doubt you'll ever see him on camera. J Chip Show, if we ever meet up in real life, I'll make sure you guys meet. Because he is quite the anime fan. I've been meaning to have him back on. It's just, everybody's really busy. But my dad is, 54 years old and has seen like probably 60 anime at this point. Maybe not 60. Probably like 50. He watches it on his own now. He watched Baki the Grappler on YouTube and was like asking me about it. I've never fucking seen it in my life. But yeah, he said it was pretty good. But he's 6'1" like me. I don't know why you were so concerned about how tall he was. What are some of your favorite live action movies? Live action movies. That's kind of like somebody asked this like the last time, like my favorite like non-anime movies, which was kind of odd because the movies that I like have a lot of like dumb like CG. Like I love Starship Troopers, but that's like barely a live action movie because fucking half the movie is CG. Live action movie. I think Wolf of Wall Street's a really cool movie. Oh, easy one. I always forget about this. There's a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio called Catch Me If You Can. And it's about like if you haven't seen it before, it's really good. It's about like takes place in like the 50s, I would say. And it's about this guy who was like a really famous like counterfeit like check con man, like back in the day when people actually used like paper checks. He found a way to like print them and make them look like really like real checks, but of course they were fucking fake bullshit and he didn't really have any money. And it's basically like his life story, and he's played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and Tom Hanks is this like FBI investigator that's basically chasing him down for years. Because he kind of DiCaprio's character is actually pretty smart, where like he doesn't keep the same persona for very long. Like parts of his life he was a pilot, even though he can't really fly. Parts of his life he worked for like airlines, and he worked for like some school or something, and part of it he was like a doctor. And it's just all this huge lie, and the whole thing is just this big chase of Tom Hanks chasing Leonardo DiCaprio all over the place, and this guy basically spending like infinite fake money because he had these counterfeit checks that he was like way gone by the time anybody noticed that the check had bounced. And so I remember I saw that movie like years ago, and it was like really like captivating. Like I love the idea of like that guy's like freedom. Like that was so cool. And then the whole like like Tom Hanks trying to chase him and everything. It's a really good movie. It's got Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh my god, who's Who's the guy? Who's like the "We Need More Cowbell" guy from Saturday Night Live, and he's the janitor in Joe Dirt. Oh my god, he has a fucking really weird accent. If anybody knows who the fuck I'm talking about, he's also in the movie. He has a really good like performance. But Catch Me If You Can, very good film. I like DiCaprio stuff for the like a lot. Like I'll also say like Shutter Island is also really good. Has an amazing like ending that I don't really want to spoil, but that's really good. Wolf Wall Street is also really good. Let's see if is there a live action movie I like that doesn't have Leonardo DiCaprio in it. I like comedy movies too. I like Not Another Teen Movie is fucking hilarious. Baki the Grappler is good. I'll have to check it out at some point. Can you fly though? Can I fly, Dredd? Good to see you, buddy. I can't fly. I have my body has physically flown in an airplane multiple times, but physically I can't fly. I'm way too heavy. What was I talking about? Movies that I like a comedy. Oh, Joe Dirt's a really good movie. I like Kill Bill. I like Kill Bill Volume 1 better than Volume 2 because it has like the anime scenes in it. So I guess it's like also like that's live action, but it also has animation in it. Yeah, like I said, Starship Troopers is a really good movie. I like comedy stuff. I also really like horror movies, but I also like cheesy like slasher ones. Like I love like the Friday the 13th movies. Halloween movies are really good. I think J-Chip even knows like more about them than I do, but like I do like stuff like that. I wish we had like a slasher anime that wasn't fucking Corpse Party. But yeah, I like a lot of like different movies, but I don't watch as much live action stuff as I do anime stuff. Let's see. What is the name of Inuyasha's fourth ED? I fucking cheated, and I had an inkling as to what you were talking about. I thought it was the fifth one, but it is actually the fourth one. It's Every Heart by Boa, I believe, and I think it's like my favorite one. It's either this one or I think it's ED2. No, but probably this one. Every Heart is a really good song. It's kind of a lame like ED like video because it's kind of just like a lot of still shots and just like characters like walking or like it's like a windmill spinning. But the song is fucking fire. The song is this like catchy like pop thing. And then it hits this like cool like crescendo like toward the end of it, and like then the animation picks up like a tad because the characters actually move. And some shit happens on the screen. But yeah. Big fan of Every Heart, by the way. And that's a meme of a question because in a live chat a long time ago, somebody, because I love Inuyasha, somebody posted that like, what's the name of this ED? And I was like, I don't fucking know. And they're like, you're not a real fan. I think it was Warp Bait, that piece of shit. Speaking of which, next question is from Warp Bait. Why Yu-Gi-Oh over Pokemon or Magic? I have tried all three. I played Yu-Gi-Oh first. I think I was a fan of Pokemon first, but I watched the Pokemon anime only. Like I didn't know that there was a card game for a while, and I didn't know there was video games for like even longer. And so, but I watched it like as a show, and Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched as a show and sort of played the game like almost at the same time. I remember the first time that I ever held Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards was like I liked the way they looked so much that I literally asked a person at my school if I could just take them home, which sounds like I went home to jerk off with them. But I assure you that's not what happened. I just took them out, and I remember two of them. Where one was Pale Beast, which is this shitty fucking normal monster with like 1500 attack, and the other one was Pumpkin King of Ghosts. Both cards that need some support. Not very good cards, but I remember that those are some of the first two cards that I ever held. And then at that next Christmas, and I was really bummed out because the next day the kid took his cards back because they were his. And that Christmas, my parents got me a Kaiba structure deck, a Yugi structure deck, and a Pegasus structure deck in like different like presents. Like I thought I was just getting like one because that's usually kind of how my parents would do it. But they like saw, hey, this kid likes this Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, so they got me one of each one. And it was fucking awesome. As for why I like it over the other card games, I just think that it certainly has its issues. Like Yu-Gi-Oh is fucking nowhere near perfect. But in comparison, like I don't know like the metas of Magic and Pokemon, but I've tried both games. And let me address, I guess, with Magic, because that's like the more popular one. I dislike how Magic, I don't like mana-based games. So I really like how Yu-Gi-Oh is unique in that aspect where there's like no mana system. There's no like, you don't really have to like pay to do anything like in the game. Unless it's like specific like card effects. Whereas like in a game like Magic, you have to have lands on the board to like do anything, and I consider that kind of slow. And I know that there's decks that win in like one turn, but I don't like I hate the idea that you have to play like fucking like 20 land cards or whatever it is, and then like, oh, it's my turn. I set a blue island, and that's it. I don't like. I think its combat is kind of weird too. How like I think if I remember right in Magic, everybody just attacks like directly, like they attack you, and like your creature can block it. I think that's kind of weird. I think Yu-Gi-Oh, like I don't know. I also think I'm biased because I played Yu-Gi-Oh first, and I got. It's like ingrained in my head that like the style of a card game is to be like Yu-Gi-Oh. I always just compare it to Yu-Gi-Oh. Like when I tried to play Hearthstone, same way. I just compared it to Yu-Gi-Oh. Hearthstone's actually pretty fun. I could see kind of why people enjoy it, but again, it's like a mana system. I think the combat system in that is kind of cool. Where like you have to like there's certain people with like certain creatures like with abilities that like make it so like you have to attack them first, kind of like every monster in Yu-Gi-Oh. But and Pokemon, I tried a little bit in college actually. And like me and a friend of mine, I bought like a couple like structure decks and stuff, and we're just trying to play the game. I had never really gone into like the rules or anything. I actually think people who play the Pokemon TCG might say that I'm wrong about this, but I think it's pretty balanced because I think that like, and I think it has a cool thing where it has like a reward system where like if you knock out a Pokemon, you get like 10 cards in your deck, I think it is, or 6 or something, are like trophy cards. And if you win a battle, you like get one of those cards. And it could be like, hey, this is going to let me draw or whatever. It like offers up advantage. So that's kind of cool. The whole energies is sort of annoying because that's basically just like fucking mana. But, you know, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh would also be better if it had some kind of system like that. I heavily admire Summon Sickness from Magic. I think Yu-Gi-Oh needed Summon Sickness years ago because you got crazy fucking OTKs and FTKs running rampant all the time. It was episode 10 of Inuyasha for first anime trivia. Nice. Dread, I'm curious as to what you're wondering if I can fly. I really like that. Like your little icon there is sticking out to me in my head. Ask me if I can fly though. Hey, George, what's up, buddy? It's good to see you here. 5. Every kill gives you a prize card. It's okay. So you're saying the Pokemon TCG. Every kill gives you a prize card. Some cards give you 2 X or EX. At least last time I played. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. The only time I ever played was when I had this like structure deck that had like Scolipede on it. So it was like black and white era. My friend bought whatever the other one. I think they came out with like 2 at once. I don't know if they always do that. But I love poison shit. So I had this like deck that like my goal was to make Scolipede. Because he's fucking badass. Fucking love Scolipede. Somebody give me a Scolipede plush real quick. Like a big ass one. Imagine like a huge Scolipede plush. You could like wrap around you like a fucking scarf. That'd be sick. But yeah, I as for why I like Yu-Gi-Oh better, it's just I think I'm sort of biased because I played it first. I also think that the art is better. People always talk about Magic the Gathering art, and I think it looks like it looks very good. But I just think I like the art style of most Yu-Gi-Oh cards better than most Magic cards. I think there's probably Magic cards, like there's probably like a Magic card that this looks better than any Yu-Gi-Oh card. Probably. Fair enough. But on average, like most of the time, I like the way that Yu-Gi-Oh cards look, certainly above Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards look very juvenile, but I get it. That's what they're supposed to. But like some Yu-Gi-Oh card artwork, is fucking great. I love like Soul of Purity and Light is one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh arts of all time. It's a not very good card, but it fucking looks great. Subterror Nemesis Archer. Like I should do a video on like my favorite like card arts. A lot of them are just grills, but it is what it is. Some foil cards look insane in Magic. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I like a lot of like the it's very not my play style, but when I tried to play Magic, I played green. And I like a lot of like the foresty, like big ass like behemoth monsters that they kind of have. But I kind of don't like green's play style for the most part. The ice barrier cards from Yu-Gi-Oh have fucking amazing art, but they're a terrible archetype. So for those that don't know, there's an archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh. Archetype means like a subset of cards. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a ton of them actually for this particular one. There's a ton of ice barrier cards. It's like Priestess of the Ice Barrier, General of the Ice Barrier. But they all have like names, but I'm skipping that part. Like I don't know, like Guardian of the Ice Barrier or some shit. And there's a ton of cards for it from like a couple different sets, but they're fucking awful and they're like a huge meme. It's like almost impossible to win because all of their effects like don't really synergize very well. However, they're from a set called Hidden Arsenal, I think originally, and that set is amazing art. Has amazing art. Like it's fucking and the ice. I wanted the ice barriers to be good so bad, dude. When I was younger, but yeah, they do have amazing boss monsters. But the funny thing is you don't need to be playing ice barriers to summon their boss monsters. Brionic, Trishula. I don't remember the third one. Garnala or something. There's like 3 big dragons of the ice barrier, and they're all like generic. Like any deck could make them. So people did. They just didn't play fucking ice barriers. Yeah, they have amazing synchros, but you never use them in actual ice barrier deck. No one plays an actual ice barrier deck. But yeah, it's sort of nostalgia reasons why I like Yu-Gi-Oh better. I don't like mana systems. I kind of don't like the artwork of Pokemon cards. And I don't know enough really about like the game mechanics of Pokemon to comment on that. Magic, I don't really like the game mechanics, although I like the art. Plus, I feel like Magic's like hard to get into at this point. Like the game is so fucking like old. The same is true for Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. Yu-Gi-Oh is really hard to get like new people in. That's something that the game really needs to fix. But it's really hard to get because like I feel bad when I go to like locals and like you get once in a while you'll get like this like 12-year-old kid or something that's he just goes there and he's playing fucking like some really bad like Red Eyes shit, and like it's like something like years ago, and there's like you gotta understand that the kids that are fucking playing these tournaments, besides me, have nothing else in their life, so they're gonna play fucking ridiculous fucking crazy Sky Striker shit, and then they're gonna be, and here comes this kid trying to play his little Red Eyes Black Dragon. Hey Osiris. Speaking of people at my Yu-Gi-Oh locals, Osiris is one of the few good ones. Mr. Burning Abyss himself. He's a nice guy, and he also has a really cool channel. You should check him out if you are into Yu-Gi-Oh at all. You actually really like Pokemon art. I've seen some Pokemon cards that look good, but I still think Yu-Gi-Oh kind of has them beat for the most part. Obviously, there are some not great-looking Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but yeah, just mechanics and like nostalgia. I took a long time to answer that question. Do I play any other tabletop games? I haven't, but I've played. This is gonna be. I don't know how to answer this. I want to play D&D. Technically, I have played D&D, but it was once, so it wasn't like a full campaign or anything. It was just like one session, and and it was kind of cool. I ended up not really liking the character that I made. I made this like barbarian dude. For some reason, when I join games, I pick like what you would think I would pick, like this big, just tough, dumb strategy, like the green deck I was trying to play in Magic. But that's not me. Like I love like fucking trickery and shit. So if I do play D&D ever again, I'm going to play Eldritch, a fighter, Eldritch Knight, I think it's called, where I can use like a weapon and magic at the same time. So that'd be kind of cool. I want to do it. My friends play D&D. I have like different friend groups that play D&D and like various groups and shit. And I'm just trying to kind of catch up with them. We might play online on like Roll20 or whatever the fuck that website's called. But I haven't played anything else. I have a lot of friends that do. I just, A, I don't have the time, and B, I'm either like watching anime, playing Overwatch, or playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So, what is the first movie you remember watching? Does not have to be anime. The first movie? Oh my god. Probably Pinocchio, which is actually kind of weird because that movie is sort of fucked up. Red Eyes Black Dragon is badass. I mean, he kind of is. I actually, when I played Magic for the first 3 months, I played Green Red Werewolves. That sounds kind of interesting. But in terms of first movie, I think it was Pinocchio. And when you're a kid, like Pinocchio seems like when you're young, like I've seen clips of Pinocchio like recently, and everybody always talks about like how creepy like the scene where like the kid turns into the donkey is and shit, and like the idea that the whale and everything. As a kid, I didn't give a fuck about that. I used to watch Pinocchio like every day. That was like the first like big piece of information that I was animation that I was obsessed with. I also watched a lot of like, as strict as my parents were in like some regard, they really let me like kind of watch whatever. Like I watched Starship Troopers like near where it came out, 97, and I was 5. And there's fucking nudity in there. There's people getting like ripped into pieces and shit by giant bugs, which is fucking cool. I watched Friday the 13th when I was really young. Halloween, because they're kind of, my dad likes a lot of movies, stuff like that. So he watched it, I would watch it. And then when I was young, I just wanted to do whatever my dad was doing, and it was kind of cool. So I saw a lot of that shit when I was really young. So I get kind of like a kick out of like, oh, my kid is way too young to see this, and like a coworker or something like, oh, my kid's way too young to see this, and his kid's like 13. I'm like, dude, when I was 13, I'd seen fucking way worse shit. If you had to watch 3 anime on repeat for the rest of time, which 3 would you choose? Not all playing at the same time. 3 anime to watch for the rest of my life. I would have to pick something really long. So like Inuyasha, because it's fucking long as shit. It's 193 episodes and 4 movies. And then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because that's also like, it's like 52, I think. Then maybe like a shorter one. Maybe like a shorter one to like cleanse the palate. Just 3, huh? I'm looking at my shelf. I'm trying to think of one that I have like Inuyasha I could watch like any time. Like Inuyasha is generally like therapeutic to me. Like it's like there were times like when I was younger and in like high school and stuff like that like I wasn't necessarily always in the best like mental state about myself. Like I had a lot of like, I think, anxiety issues or just sort of like self-esteem issues, and I would honestly like go and like watch like random anime, and a lot of it was like Inuyasha. Because and then it also helped that it was on like every night on Adult Swim, and it was just very relaxing just to sort of like, even if it was an episode that I had seen before, I just find Inuyasha very relaxing and sort of like therapeutic in that sense. It wouldn't be Clanad. Clanad was enjoyable, but like, I don't want to, if it's just me and fucking anime on some island or some shit, like I don't want to like cry. So it's not Anohana either. Inuyasha, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I'm gonna regret this the minute I fucking say it. Looking at my shelf. I almost want to say Eureka 7, but I kind of want it to be a shorter one. Fuck it. We'll say Eureka 7. God damn it. Or no. It would be some Shinkai movie. It'd be like fucking like Garden of Words, maybe. Although I don't know. Garden of Words, I feel like maybe when you're away from society, like the commentary that like Garden of Words says about like individualism and shit like don't matter. So maybe I'll just watch like Your Name or something. That's a hard question, but certainly those other two are a lock. Favorite stand-up comedian, if you have one. I actually used to be a big Dane Cook fan. I thought he was really cool. Aziz Ansari is really good. Dave Chappelle is fucking hilarious. Louis C.K. is really funny when he's not like trying to get people to jerk off in front of him or whatever the fuck he did. Yeah, those guys are pretty good. What's the best joke you know? My life in my career as a YouTuber / Overwatch player. You were stuck on an abandoned island for a year. Food and water are not an issue. What 3 items do you bring? Well, apparently I'm bringing those 3 anime DVDs. An abandoned island for a year? You said food and water is not an issue, right? So, I don't know. Do I have electricity? If not, I'm gonna somehow bring a generator to make electricity. I don't know if that fucking happens. Probably not. That might be cheating. Fuck it. We'll say there's no electricity for some fucking reason. I would probably bring. This is gonna sound corny as fuck, but paper and a pen. Just because I'm a huge fan of fucking writing shit down. Like my desk is always cluttered with like paper. And often, like, even when I was younger, when I was like really bored, I used to just like write like random like short stories or something. And it just like a creative. I feel like if you're by yourself, like you should have this like creative outlet. Or you could draw if you want, but I can't draw shit. So paper and pen, if those count as 2 separate things, that fucking blows. Let's say they do. So then I get one other item. So I guess I'm naked. Whatever. I don't know, man. Something I couldn't live without, huh? Well, I'm not going to use my phone if there's no electricity. The fuck? I don't want to say like a manga because I'm not going to reread the same manga a million times. Anybody have any good suggestions in the chat? Help me out here. I wasted 2 of my answers on paper and pen. Clearly, I'm not a normal individual. I might just say a bed, so I'm not sleeping on like some fucking shit like grass or something. But even then, you might get used to that. I don't know. Paper and pen for sure. And hopefully the pen never dies. But yeah, I don't know. We'll say paper, pen, and a bed. Cats or dogs? Cats. I don't really like pets that like in general that much. Growing up, we didn't really have animals in the house until until I was basically like in college. Besides like little like hamsters and shit, but we have a cat. We've had 2 cats since then, and they're very cute, and I like them. And cats tend to like me for some reason, definitely better than dogs do. But I like cats because cats. I like how cats are sort of like loner-ish. You can kind of just like leave food out and water, and they fucking kind of deal with their own shit. I guess that answers the next question. Do I have pets? Have you ever been to a casino and did you like it? Never been to a casino. I don't really have any interest in. There's one opened up very close to me, and I have no interest. Why did you choose to support Bob Samurai on Patreon out of all other YouTubers? Bob is certainly inspirational in what I do. I think he is like a beacon of like a normal person in the anime community. I think he's somebody that is honest. I think he's somebody that makes the content that he wants to make, especially now. I admire him greatly, and I used to love his videos and still like him, still love watching his stuff to this day. So, if I could support him, I could, because I support him because I wouldn't be where I am without him. Did you ever try to get your mom to watch anime? Yeah, she's seen The Garden of Words. She thought it was pretty good, but it's kind of like she kind of was like, that's pretty good. You know how people were like, yeah, that's good, but I don't know how like into it they were. I think she recognizes it as a cool thing. I think her outlook on anime in general might have like gotten like a little more positive, but I don't think she's necessarily that interested in it. I kind of want to show her Full Metal Alchemist, but it's also really fucking long for a person. Oh, excuse me, for a person that doesn't watch anime, you know. Maybe I'll show her Wolf Children, but I don't own that on Blu-ray. I'd have to stream it. Do you have any tattoos? No. If you had to get a tattoo, what would it be? Probably something anime related. Or I don't know, something like I love like angels, like angelic art. So something along those lines. What is my dream vehicle / place to live? Vehicle, I don't really give a shit. I'm not super like into cars. I guess like ideally I'd want just like a stable truck, like a small pickup truck that I could fit in, because I'm a pretty large guy and I have a Honda Accord and I hate fucking crawling into that every day to go to work. Dream place to live. I feel like a lot of anime fans might say Japan. Hey Sammy, what's up? Dream place to live. I'm really tired of snow. So somewhere like sort of down south, not necessarily like where it's like super hot. But maybe somewhere, it's hard to say because I've never been there, but I would guess like the Carolinas or something. Somewhere like really without snow, because I'm really tired of how cold it gets here, but I still want like fall time. Like I'm real picky, I guess. But yeah, somewhere where I don't have to deal with snow would be good. Not necessarily Japan. I don't know if I would want to live in Japan. I want to visit there again, but I think that if I were to live there, it'd be for like a short amount of time. Hey, Sammy. It is good to see you, buddy. When did you get into anime? I got into anime around. Well, we got to define into anime. I guess we'll say like when I first started watching it, it would have been Adult Swim when I was younger, like God, like not like 90s, like later 90s. If we're not going to count like Dragon, like I mean, I guess you can count like Dragon Ball or Pokemon or something, whatever would have been airing. But the first anime that I really like hardcore paid attention to was Inuyasha, and I would say that was like it probably was like on Adult Swim like later 90s. And then Full Metal after that would be Full Metal Alchemist, and they used to air like if not back to back, they were like near the same time slot. And I remember like when I was a kid, my bedroom would be like next to my parents, and I had a TV in there, but I couldn't. If I had it too loud, obviously they'd be like, "Hey, shut the fuck up." Maybe a little nicer about it, but and I remember having to like turn the volume down so that like they thought I was asleep, but I really wasn't. I should have been in bed, but I was watching like FMA like back in the day. So I would say like later 90s. So I would have been like, I don't know. or early 2000s, because I think FMA originally was 2003. So I was like 11 when that came out. So we'll say 10, 11 years old. You do count it. Okay, good. Let's see here. If Inuyasha, or whatever you saw first, never existed, do you think you'd still have gotten into anime? Yeah, I think it would have just been something else on Adult Swim, because like I was watching Adult Swim nonetheless, and I think I would have just saw Full Metal Alchemist or something, or because there were so many good anime that like were like Cowboy Bebop was on there. There was just a lot of, and then Toonami existed. Honestly, I owe a lot of my fandom to like Western cable in like the past for exposing me to it. So I still think I would have liked it. What does the future? This is from J Chip from the J Chip Show asks, what does the future look like now that you're at 200 subs? Kind of the same. This is the first content that I've really made in a bit, that not counting Sugoi Boys. And I'd like to do more like live stuff. If you guys like this kind of stuff, like let me know. I admire Bob Samurai heavily, and he's been doing like live review stuff and live like chat stuff before. And in honest, I'm also lazy, so like if I don't have to like put a videos through like an editing, I mean I don't really edit. So like if I don't have to like render a video, if I could just like live stream it and it just saves to my YouTube channel and it's not on my hard drive or anything, that's all good for me. And let's be honest, I've always been more of like a vlogger kind of guy anyway. So I'm thinking of maybe making it more like this format. I could potentially like keep writing like scripts and stuff like that on how I feel about certain things, and record stuff. I think like the Bearded Senpai podcasts stuff that I kind of do, I think I like that kind of content. I like doing the reviews, but I feel like it's a little more fun to do it like the podcasty type of way versus like the formulaic type of review. And yeah, I never like see myself as like, I don't try and be like a glass reflection or anything. Like, not that that guy's like bad or anything. It's just it's a little too like polished for me. And I said, oh yeah, sorry, I'm not offering it. Yeah, I appreciate that, dude. Maybe I will seek out you or some editor at some point in the future. But I've never really been one to put like clips or anything. I just like to be like a straightforward guy. I just like to talk about anime or whatever. I don't try and be flashy. I don't try. And I think that especially in like this community, I think it's sort of like leaning towards that. Like, look at the popularity of Digibro After Dark. Look at the popularity of Bob Samurai. All these people that are like sort of becoming, I mean, Digibro's main channel is still like, obviously has editing and everything in it. And I think that like somebody like Giguk obviously puts a lot of time into his videos. But I think that a lot of people, I think YouTube is sort of going to shift like this. I think a lot of people just listen to shit. I think a lot of people don't necessarily give a fuck about what's happening like on the screen. As long as you're coherently like explaining like your thoughts and everything, I think then you're probably doing good. Unless like obviously the videos you watch, somebody's gonna be like, well, what if I'm watching, a let's play of like this game or something, and I'm trying to figure out like obviously there are things that you need to pay attention to the screen to. You should live stream anime topics, not Sugoi Boys, but like have live discussion on why you like Sango from Inuyasha. I have thought years ago, I had in a notebook somewhere like a bunch of ideas, and I literally had the title of a video called "Why Sango is Best Girl," and that video has been shelved like several times, mostly out of pure laziness. I've also wanted to incorporate it into like a project of like why I like Inuyasha so much, like Inuyasha like a love story, and it would be like several videos. But who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll do that someday. I don't like to make promises because I'm really bad at keeping them. There's just another reason why I'm surprised that like I have so many followers, and you guys are obviously really cool people because you deal with my bullshit. But apparently you like some of my bullshit, so. Out of the three Sugoi Boys, who would win in a fist fight? Easily me. I'm sorry to my other two compatriots. They're both nice young chaps, but I am larger than both of you. I mean, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe you got some fucking taekwondo, jujitsu shit that you got on me. I don't know. But I mean, I'm not necessarily the best fighter in the world, but I think if it came down to like the end of the world and it's like one of us has got to like fucking, it's like a fucking we're in like cannibal mode and we're like starving. We got to fucking somebody's got to walk out of this dome as the winner, man. I think it might be me. I don't know why we're in a situation like that, considering we live in 3 like separate parts of the country. But thank you for that question, Warpbait, by the way. Let's see. I think that might be it from the Discord questions. I don't think I skipped any. If you guys have any more questions in the chat, feel free to shoot them. It doesn't have to be anime related. It could be about whatever. It could be Yu-Gi-Oh. It could be a tad personal if you want. No one's ever breaking through that beard. It's like a protective barrier. Oh, I could. Could you, Sammy? You don't want to touch this thing, dude. This thing is fucking like like the colder it gets like rougher. It gets like a fucking like thing of like not like a bed of thorns around my face. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover, says J Chip. Sure, buddy. That's fine. Although you watch a lot of wrestling, J Chip, so I mean maybe you got some kind of like fucking bullshit suplex move. That you could do on me, or you find some like submission or whatever. Sammy, I'd probably lose to. New Jersey's little boy here in the chat, I'd probably lose to. But people don't know him. I know him IRL, and he's this fucking ripped ass thrower. For those that don't know, I did track for many years, track and field. I was a thrower. I did shot put and hammer and a little bit of discus and stuff. It was a big part of my life for a long time. It was my number one passion for a long time, and it's why I ended up going to the college that I went to. And I feel weird like talking about it. It's almost like I'm at like it's like funeral because it's just something that's sort of like from my past. And like from time to time, like I have thrown over the years, but it's been a while. And I'm not necessarily in like the greatest shape anymore. That it kind of bums me out a little bit. New Jersey's little boy here is one of my former teammates, and he's a really, really good discus thrower. And it's always uplifting whenever I see Sammy post stuff like about his like the meets that he still competes at and stuff like that, because he's a tad younger than me. But he's also out of college and he's still like training pretty hard and still, going after it and stuff like that. So it's certainly inspirational. I've just sort of devoted my time to like other stuff. And, not necessarily the most like responsible person in the world, because I, sign up for like 9 million things. Like I'm trying to get better at Overwatch. I'm trying to still be a YouTuber. Eventually find a job that I actually want to be part of forever. These other things, excuses, but I still love track. I love my man Sammy here, good friend. Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. I'm glad that I was at the recruiting table. I was at that dinner table where we were trying to recruit him to come to the school, and I'm glad I didn't scare him away. But I do love track. I highly doubt anybody's going to have any track questions. And I know it's not every day that like people are necessarily into like sports and this stuff, but that's another thing about Sammy that I like is he's a down to earth athletic nerd like myself. If Segoy Boys was a professional wrestling stable, what would the theme song be? Ooh, I've thought about like in general, like what would my wrestling entrance song be? I don't know. I play the video games a little bit, and I used to really like the because you pick like from like the set songs that they have in there. I like the Ascension song. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like if I were a wrestler, I'd be like that like dark, weird one, kind of like Abyss. But I'm not like that huge. Like those guys are usually like Kane or something. Like those guys are usually like monstrously big. Like I'm just 6'1". I'm not like 6'6". But I would kind of like to be like sort of the creepy, darker dude. Maybe almost like Raven from like ECW days. But I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But so something like rocky or grungy. I mean, I'm a metal fan in terms of music. But if we were a stable, like if we were like a triple tag team, I have no idea what kind of music would sum up the Sugoi Boys. I'm gonna say "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae. We'll just come out to that. Like no enthusiasm. You know what we'll do? We'll come out scary like fucking Undertaker, but we'll call out to Carly Rae. So it's like, I just met you. This is crazy. And it's just us walking up the fucking camera. Like we're walking up like we're fucking badasses, but it's like fucking Call Me Maybe playing in the background. But yeah. Like I said, guys, if you have any other questions, feel free to shoot them over. I do want to thank you so much for coming to this, first of all. And thank you to all my patrons and anybody who, you know, comments on my videos and stuff like that, or just watches me or has paid attention to me for a long time. I thank you so much for your support, guys, because I honestly, like, I don't think I'd be doing videos and stuff like this if it wasn't for you guys. Originally, I just started this as like an outlet of like opinion, and I never cared about if people. Originally, when I started, I didn't really care about that many people like giving a fuck about me. I didn't care if I never got to 30 subs. But the more people that paid attention, the easier it got to like make content, and the more like inspired I was to make content. If you had to recommend someone who's never watched anime, what would you suggest? I typically tell people to watch Brotherhood. I would agree with you on that. My only issue is that it's kind of long. So I might say Bob Samurai introduced me to this idea. Try to give them a movie. Unless they're like, some people I've noticed are blatantly, they don't want to watch just a movie. They're always like, oh, I don't want to watch something super long. I don't want to watch a movie. Like it's hard to find people that want sort of like a middle ground. But I would say like a movie. Like what I would do is I would try and figure out like what they like in terms of other stuff. Like, do they like action movies? Do they like, I don't know, like kind of thriller type? If they like crime thriller type stuff, check out Death Note. If they like action-y type stuff, maybe check out some sort of like shonen thing. If you know it's somebody that definitely wants like an ending, don't pick something that's like really long. Don't pick like Bleach. But Brotherhood is a good one. I think Cowboy Bebop is another good one. However, you got to see, maybe they're not into sci-fi. You know, not everybody's like necessarily into that. I would say definitely films. Something like Your Name is a very like, I think, easy film to watch. Wolf Children is another one. The Garden of Words is another really good movie that I think that most people, anime fan or not, would watch. Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's an American anime. I think that a lot of people would find something enjoyable out of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Korra I never watched, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, I would say like try and base it off of like what the person sort of likes. With my parents, well, my mom's only seen like 2, so like Garden of Words, my dad just wanted to like show it to her because we both really really like that movie. With my dad, the first one I ever showed him was Tokyo Ghoul, which was completely the opposite of I think what anything he would really be into. It's just I got the box set from Amazon one day, and it was a cool looking box set. And it was at that moment I was like, he was like kind of interested in how like the box looked, and I was like, oh, well, would you want to watch this? Because I was super into Tokyo Ghoul at the time. And then we watched it, and he thought it was okay. And then he was like, I was telling him how these other ones were, and he's like, okay, let me check those out. And his favorite anime of all time is Death Note. And that was like the second or third one that we watched. And then he rewatched it again on his own. It's his favorite. which he's kind of difficult because he likes like almost like most kinds of movies. He likes horror movies, he likes action movies, he like comedy type stuff. So in theory, he kind of likes everything, but it's also sort of difficult. Korra is pretty good, but it doesn't smack as hard as Avatar. I've heard like mixed things on Korra. People tell me that like, oh, it's not as bad as people make it seem, but it also like the negatives that I've heard about Korra really push me away, because it seems to me, and this is just from what I've heard, it seems to me that Korra takes away from like the adventure that Avatar was. Like for me, and specifically for me, Avatar, like what's his Aang, like gaining his abilities was like one of the coolest aspects of Avatar. Like that, like the journey. Like I love Eureka 7 because it's this incredible journey. Like at the start of Eureka 7, Renton is this fucking kid with like nothing. And then by the end of it, he fucking has like so much more. I don't want to like spoil specifically what happens, but he gets so much more, and like he's gone on this incredible fucking journey in life, with anti-government movements and fucking wars going on, and fucking falling in love with this one girl, and like nearly dying like countless times, and throwing his life on the line for this girl that he loves, and just learning so much about the world and about his dad, who he didn't know that well, and his sister, who have been missing from his life for a very long time. I like that journey. And Korra, to me, doesn't sound like it has necessarily like a great journey. Like I don't like how she's, from what I heard, she just has like the abilities, I guess. I'm sure that there is a journey that she goes on, but I'm also like a character driven guy. So like if I don't like the main character in a show, I'm genuinely not really going to connect with it. Hey Gabriel, what's up, man? I stopped watching off-brand anime for this stream. Well, thank you for coming. This was my 200 sub special. I'm going to go for a couple more minutes here, so if there's anything you want to ask, have at it. But we've covered a lot here. We've covered, me taking another boy's Yu-Gi-Oh cards home from school for unknown purposes. We've talked about little Miasma in his room watching Inuyasha and Full Metal Alchemist without his parents' consent. We've talked about even littler Miasma watching Friday the 13th at a very young age. Let's see, what else do we talk? Oh, the items I would bring on an island. That was kind of hard. I also said paper and pen for two of them. It would be nice if those counted as one thing, but I would really want those because I like writing shit down, and I could always just write up a story or something like that. Hey, Rob, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a long time. It's very good to see you. Hey, man, I hope all is well. All is well, dude. It's really good to see you. I still need to watch that. You just seeing you in the chat reminded me that I haven't watched that fucking puppet anime yet. The one directed by Genro Ibuchi. What's it called? Thunder. What the fuck is it? Oh, somebody knows. What's that like? It's not really an anime, but what's that like? The show with the puppets that's on Crunchyroll. It's directed by Genro Ibuchi, who's the director of Fate or the writer of Fate. It fucking looks cool, and it's something Thunder. It's something like, God damn it. Thunderbolt Fantasy. I've been meaning to check that out because I believe you were, and I should have just waited. Rob posted it, and I didn't wait. I'm sorry, buddy. Thunderbolt Fantasy, because I know you were telling me that was pretty good. Did it have another season? Like, is there more than one season of that show? Because I definitely want to check that out. I think it's a really cool idea to have like a puppet show. What anime celebrity would you love to have on the Sugoi Boys? It could be voice actors, directors, or whoever. I guess I'll go like voice actor. I love Kirk Thornton. He's my favorite. He doesn't do nearly as much stuff anymore, but he was Brandon Heat in Gungrave. He was Gene in Samurai Champloo. Um, he was Matthew in Eureka 7. Uh, uh, just really cool like voice actor, I think. And it'd be cool to have him. Not that it's ever going to fucking happen, but director Makoto Shinkai. He's my favorite director. It's the director of Your Name and 5 centimeters per second, Garden of Words, etc. I guess then like other like YouTubers. It'd be cool to have Bob back on. Bob Samurai for sure. Trying to think of people because I want the people to be like at least sort of similar to me. But this is gonna sound like almost controversial because I know like Bob or some other like maybe other people really don't like him. Well, I'm not. I can't really speak for other people, but I'm not sure how much of my fan base is a fan of this person. But I'm a fan of Digibro, specifically Digibro After Dark. I watch that channel pretty religiously. I don't really like his main channel, and I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the stuff that the dude says, but I think that he's pretty astute in his anime knowledge. I think he's, you know, I think he's well spoken. Certainly, better than me, and I, went to school for communications and English for Christ's sake. But I think he's. I don't agree with everything he says. Right. I don't agree with some of his like the lolly shit and, but whatever. But I like his, especially on After Dark. I kind of model a lot of my content after that. Like I think that he sort of gets in front of his camera and his microphone and talks like is very. I like honesty in people. I think he's very honest. I think he expresses his beliefs. If he thinks something's shit, he's gonna say that it's shit. I think he kind of focuses on the negative, but sometimes somebody's kind of got to do that. I don't really want to focus on the negative, so if he'll describe to me how bad Shinsekai Yori is, I'll just agree with him because I also think that show's bad. But it'd be cool if someday I could ever talk to Digi. That'd be cool without paying him money or whatever. I could pay him $15 on his Patreon, and he'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, which is kind of cool. But I don't really have the money to do that. I didn't get the notifications. I am late. It's okay, Gabe. Don't worry. Growing up before I knew what anime was, I was obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh! Was there an anime you liked as a kid before you knew what anime was? Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd probably tie into that because I think technically I saw them before Inuyasha, I would imagine. Anytime where I saw like they used to have like random like rerun episodes of like the old like Dragon Ball, I certainly like didn't really pay attention to the plot. It was kind of just colors on the screen at that point. But I would say certainly like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! For sure. So I'm with you there. Before I didn't really know what like anime was at that point. I knew you were gonna say Digi, but I'm similar because there are people I watch who I don't have 100% the same opinions as, but I like their content or like them as a person. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of it just like stirs up a conversation, and like he's made a lot of like statements that I don't necessarily like agree with. Like I love Makoto Shinkai. I know he thinks Makoto Shinkai is kind of overrated. He literally has a video called Makoto Shinkai, a genius hack filmmaker, which he actually I watched that whole video twice, and he actually makes like pretty solid points. Some of it's like opinion. Like he thinks a lot of his movies are just the background like looks cool. I think a lot of his movie looks fucking really, really spectacular, but hey, that's just what I want to see. Clearly me and him have different like aesthetic choices. Like he loves like Kill la Kill and Hiroyuki Imaishi stuff. I fucking hate that guy. So yeah, but like I don't know, in terms of like how he expresses opinion, I'm very much like how he does it. He's very seemingly confident about his art, and I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. It'd be cool just to have like a discussion with him about things. I doubt it'll ever happen, but It would genuinely be cool. DW Mazba. I'm pretty same on Digi. Do you think he pretty off kilter on some takes, but he definitely has an interesting mind that I always do get intrigued by sometimes. Yeah, I watch After Dark. Like I watch like almost every video he does in After Dark. Besides, like I don't really like his like rap. he makes some like weird shit, but hey, you know, whatever. Like, it's about doing what you want to do, and that's clearly what he's into. So, a Black Critic Guy would be very good to have. Unfortunately, yeah, he was also one of the first people that I watched. It's just I don't watch him as much anymore because he doesn't. From what I could tell, I don't know how much content he really makes nowadays. I think he's busy working a lot. But really cool guy. I watched him and Bob like back to back. In fact, I found Bob from Black Critic Guy's channel because at least I think I did. No. You know what? You know what it was? I found Bob Samurai through For Neverworld's channel because Bob was on a video about Welcome to the NHK. And I had just seen Welcome to the NHK. I watched some random. I don't even watch For Neverworld that much, but I just saw two dudes talking about the show that I really liked, and I was like, hey, who's that other guy? My favorite Millennium item. I'm an Ishizu fan. I think Ishizu is kind of a QT 3.14. So I'm gonna say the Millennium. What is she? Necklace? Yeah, she's not the eye. No, fucking what's his name? Pegasus is the eye. I think she's a Millennium Necklace, but doesn't hers like fuck up? Like, isn't? I think it predicts the future, but it's like wrong, which is fucking dumb. They're giving Ishizu a field center, by the way, J-Chip, in this new Dual Devastator set. Well, there's new field centers. Anybody who doesn't know Yu-Gi-Oh! Is gonna have no idea what I'm talking about. But they're having some Ishizu art come out soon, and let me tell you, I'm gonna get me the Ishizu fucking field center. Because A, I like Gravekeepers, and B, she's a QT 3.14, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, yeah, those people would be really cool to have on the channel, and anybody that's been on it previously is more than welcome. I'm always happy to talk to Dread and J-Chip, and I'm always happy to talk to you guys. If anybody knows anybody famous that, you know, wants to be on a fucking shitty YouTuber's live chat or channel, you know, recommend me. Ishizu Rule 34. I have not checked out that. I have not checked that out yet. Maybe I'll have to. I'm sure it goes down some dark places. Warp. Thank you for coming. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it here, guys. Her brother scares you? Yeah, it's fucking Merrick. He's an antagonist. He's supposed to. Rob would be awesome now in Sugoi Boys. But I'm gonna cut it here. I really want to thank once again everybody that has ever been on the Sugoi Boys, talked to me on the channel before, even left a comment, anything. You guys all mean a lot to me. Warp, it's perfectly okay, dude. It's fine. I'm sure there'll be one of these in the future if I ever get to 300. But yeah, it's okay. You missed a lot of rambling, to be honest, and me talking about like how I like Digibro, even though I disagree with a lot of his opinions. And once again, I'm just thankful to a lot of you guys. You guys really inspired me to make more work. If you weren't here, I'd like to maybe do more of these more often. Maybe more of these versus like actual videos. If you'd be into that, let me know in the comments. I kind of like Bob's style of like live commentary on things. I think that's kind of cool. Plus, I don't have to like render this video. It's that much easier. But I'm starting to lose my voice. So thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much for supporting me. Honestly, guys, you guys are really, really awesome. And I would not be at 200 subs without you guys. And I honestly, everyone fucking says this, but I genuinely mean it from the bottom of my heart. I never thought I would even see like 30 subs. I remember saying that like to my friends when I started doing YouTube, back when it was Gyre Media back then. The real OG fans know about Gyre Media. But honestly, I've made so many friends by doing this. It is one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. was to start doing YouTube. And I'm never going to be the most polished YouTuber out there, or the most popular or whatever, but I've found friends and fans and, people supporting me that I'm very fond of. And you guys are awesome. And thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and have a great rest of your weekend. And if you can, please come back on Sunday. We should have an episode of Sugoi Boys. And we'll be live once more. And hope to see you there. And you guys have a great night, and I'll see you. Thank you so much for coming.